Man, so according to Ryan Garcia, his fight with Javante Tank Davis is almost done, and that and a announcement is supposed to be coming out soon about that. But when he put out this information, Javante Tank Davis pretty much put things out as if he knew what the hell this guy was talking about. Um, and then Ryan Garcia told him to go ahead and that he's a grown man, he needs to call some people, the people whatever, and get the information. So I don't know what's going on, but what I will say is, don't believe none of this ish for now. I'm not saying the fight's not going to happen, but until a fight is done, this doesn't mean anything. All we got to do is look back at the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight when everything was all set, all done. While they were both at Showtime after the first fight had happened, contracts all done. The only thing left to do was to sign. Wilder signed his side. Tyson Fury did not sign his side. He ended up walking away from the deal and did something with signing. He signed with Top Rank and did a deal with ESPN instead. And did a couple of fights on ESPN before him and Wilder finally ended up fighting for the second time. So just because something is quote, even if it is quote close, it doesn't mean absolutely anything until the paperwork is signed and they're across the finish line. Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. They're going back and forth, back and forth. Deontay Wilder finally agrees to a $12 million flat fee deal to fight Anthony Joshua. They sent him a contract, no date, no venue, no like, hey, this has to be set by this date and it has to be in the UK, whatever, nothing like that. So contact them, hey, what's up with this? We need this change real quick so I can sign this contract, So they're supposed to, look over everything. They're saying it's going to be signed, sent, back to Anthony Joshua's team within a few days or whatever. And all of a sudden, somehow the WA quote says that, hey, you have to fight Povetkin and it has to be done within, 48 hours or 1 week or whatever. Fight doesn't even get done until like 2 months later or a month or 2 months later, and that fight never happened. So, supposedly it's quote done, but we'll have to wait and see how it's going to even happen. I just don't see how it would happen, just due to the fact that, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, they do have their deal with the Zone, and I don't see how the Zone is just going to let that kid go, to this other platform and fight Javante Davis in this other different platform. I'm not sure how that exactly would happen, but I guess we'll have to wait to see, But don't get hyped up. Don't be all like, oh, this is gonna be epic. This fight's gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This fight, that's gonna happen. No, until Mayweather Promotions puts out the information, or until Javante Tank Davis puts out the information, because at the end of the day, this is gonna be a fight where Javante Tank Davis' team is gonna be the one that's gonna be in control. They're the ones who's gonna actually be pretty much holding this fight. They're gonna be pretty much running everything. It's going to be on their platform, whether it be Showtime, whether it be Fox. It's going to be under Mayweather Promotions. That's who's going to be handling this. So when you see Floyd Mayweather confirm it, when you see Messiah Ellerby confirm it, you see Showtime confirm it, you see, I'll say Javante Tank Davis confirm it even, then you can say, all right, it's official. But until everything is done, everything that happens before means absolutely nothing. Means nothing. The Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather fight 7 years before it happened was, quote, done too. Supposedly it was done too. Everything was agreed upon. Only thing was left was a drug testing thing. And Floyd Mayweather was willing to have him cut off drug testing 2 weeks before the fight. 2 weeks before the fight, he was willing to have him cut it off. And where Manny Pacquiao could have used whatever the hell he wanted for 2 weeks, or wouldn't have had to take any test for 2 weeks leading up to the fight, and fight never happened. And fight ended up having like 6-7 years later when they thought the fight was done. Everybody thought it was completely almost done. So, I always say, don't get hyped up. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the love of boxing blind you to reality, and don't let them treat you like some rocks and throw you in any direction, like Bob Arum likes to do with his fans. Just wait. and see if it does happen. Now, if the fight does happen, cool. I think it'll be a spectacular build up to the fight. Um, I think it probably will be one of the highest grossing fights of the year. I think it can do anywhere from 400,000 pay per views and up. It's one of those fights where it's kind of weird. It could shock you and do 500, 600, 700. It's one of those fights that could actually shock you and do substantially higher than you would possibly think could happen. Do I think fight should happen right now? No, I don't think it should happen right now. You saw in the last fight, Ryan Garcia had some deficiencies. He was able to figure things out. He was able to become victorious in that fight. And I believe after you've gone through a fight like that, you move up to the next phase, which would be someone like, let's say, like a Linares. Fight a Linares and see what happens with the Linares fight. After you beat a Linares, then move up to maybe a tougher opponent after the Linares fight. But you just keep him moving up slowly. Just because to me personally, he's almost in the prospect still stage. And he's somebody that can end up being very good probably within the next couple of years. 2-3 years, you could be in a space where he's at 140 pounds and unstoppable. Or if you can say at 135, in 2 years, he could be at 135 and unstoppable. I'm thinking, yeah, but he needs time and he needs to mature as a fighter. And the fact that he's in the limelight is probably going to keep him from doing that. So we'll see what happens with his team. But if he truly wants his fight, though, I guess you can't stop him. I mean, the guy stopped a dude that went 12 rounds of Lomachenko, a guy that hurt Lomachenko and had to, could have stopped Lomachenko. He hurt him, and went 12 rounds with him. So Ryan Garcia stopped him. So I guess seeing that, if he wants to just go ahead and he's supposed to be, the mandatory, I guess, for Devin Haney, which is a champion. So if you can face that champion, I guess you can face any one of the other champions. So I guess according to his position, he's ready to take on those guys. So that's going to just have to be up to him and his team. Me personally, if I'm his father, I'm saying, let's chill. Let's keep moving you up, keep progressing you. You're young. Let's not get hyped up. Let's not, do something we're going to regret. Let's not be the next Erickson Lubin. Let's not do that. Let's let the maturation process happen with you as a fighter. And when you're ready to take on that level of competition, then we go ahead. But the man wants to jump head first into the water, and we'll see if things actually get done, and we'll see if the fight actually happens. But until then, I ain't holding my breath. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.